session to order. Madam Clerk, would you please announce the roll?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Present in the school board chamber are Chair Brown, Vice Chair Weems, Mr. Bowensteel, Mr. Callen, Mr. Culpepper, Mr. Cummings, Ms. Dwyer, Ms. Felton, Dr. Green, Ms. Melnick, and Ms. Rogers.
Thank you. Ms. Linetti?
At this time, we are obviously experiencing broadcasting difficulties, so this meeting can proceed in person pursuant to state law. Our bylaw 136 and 138 allow the chair and the superintendent to make decisions on how to proceed when you have an emergency circumstance. Right now, we are under tornado, I'm not sure we're watch or warning, but it's causing enough difficulties for us with the weather that we do qualify as an emergency circumstance, and the chair can make the determination on how to proceed with the meeting. So you can proceed in person. We are getting messages out on both the website and social media to let folks know that we are having technical difficulties and that we are proceeding with the meeting in person. And obviously, if we're able to broadcast, we will do so at a later date, a later time.
Thank you. And we are going to proceed. Hopefully this will be resolved before our formal session, but we have several important updates. And then later we also have several personnel appointments. And then we also have some payroll deductions and signature things that are time sensitive. So we're going to go ahead and proceed. So with that, we are on to school board administrative matters and reports. And Mr. Culpepper, I believe you were in line?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, and we're going to have to do a raise of hands. So does anybody have anything to report? Oh, Ms. Rogers.
I just wanted to make a statement about the end of the school year and thank all of our dedicated staff who ushered our students through the end of this year and are either on a well-deserved summer break or on a summer reprieve from having to have students in the buildings. Thanking our custodians, thanking our staff, and the staff here that are here 12 months a year. I just really appreciate that the end of the year went smoothly and that we got every student successfully through another year.
All right, thank you. Seeing Ms. Felton.
Thank you. I'd just like to say that I'd just like to congratulate all of my directors and principals for the grand graduations that we had, starting off with our practical nursing department. It was really great. We had over 20-some students to graduate from our nursing department, but all of our high schools, all of our academies, it was fantastic. I enjoyed it, and I believe I attended every one. But it was grateful. I was grateful and thankful for all the things that the principal did and how our students got through all the honoraries, all the military efforts. And I'd just like to say to all of our principals, I would call names, probably get into trouble, but thank you, principals, for the great job that you've done. All of the coaches, all of our teachers who were there making sure that all of that happened. And thank you, Dr. Robertson, for allowing such a grand graduation to take forward in our school, and I just appreciate all that you all did. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, and with that, we are going to go on to our workforce development update, and we welcome Dr. Sarah Lockett, Director, Office of Technical and Career Education.
That one. All right, we'll try that again. All right, good afternoon, Chairwoman Brown, Vice Chair Weems, members of the board, and Dr. Robertson. I am Dr. Sarah Lockett, and I'm honored to be here today to share an update about workforce development efforts across our 85 schools with our community partners and our higher education partners. Over the last few years, a vision for workforce efforts in Virginia Beach has developed as a series of touch points where students connect with workforce experiences that help them shape their vision for future learning and future career pathways. This design for the student experience got its start in our discussions of academic and career planning during the creation of advisory content, where staff focused on topics appropriate and beneficial at each level, elementary, middle, and high school. This afternoon, I would like to open our time together by recapping some of the experiences that currently serve as touch points in each student's pathway to Future Ready. Much of what I will share maps directly to Compass to 2030, specifically the strategy focused on career awareness, exploration, and experiences across K-12. General awareness is developed throughout elementary school through classroom activities and lessons led by professional school counselors. However, fifth grade represents one of the first major workforce development touchpoints. This is the year where students are formally introduced to the industries, careers, and skills that drive our region's economy. This is where the connection between classroom learning and future opportunities begins to come to life. Signature experiences such as Naval Air Station Oceana's Air Show and STEM Day and the STEM Trifecta Clubs provide students with engaging hands-on opportunities to explore career fields, interact with industry professionals, and see real-world applications of STEM concepts. These events provide the foundation for the idea that our workforce efforts must be grounded in purposeful interactions between local industry and our students at regular intervals throughout their educational experience. These early career-connected experiences spark curiosity, broaden students' awareness of future possibilities, and help them begin to identify their own interests and strengths. As the first step in a comprehensive K-12 workforce development continuum, these experiences establish a foundation for future academic and career planning, while building the mindset, skills, and confidence students need to become future-ready learners. As students move into middle school, workforce development shifts from career awareness into intentional career exploration. Building on the foundation established in elementary school, students begin engaging in structured career exploration through advisory, where activities are intentionally sequenced across grades 6, 7, and 8 to meet Virginia's requirement for 70 hours of career exploration. During these years, students learn more about their interests, strengths, and career possibilities while developing an understanding of the education and skills required for various career pathways. Middle school students have opportunities to explore potential career interests through exploratory career and technical education courses, providing hands-on experiences in a variety of high-demand fields. The first signature experience during middle school is the Expedition Port of Call, an innovative workforce exploration event for every seventh grader that was recently recognized with a Virginia School Boards Association Innovation Award. Through direct engagement with industry partners, students have the opportunity to try on careers and see what aligns with their interests while gaining valuable insight into the diverse career opportunities available in our region. Students also continue their involvement with their STEM Trifecta Clubs, allowing them to deepen their exploration of STEM learning, develop technical and leadership skills, and connect classroom learning to real-world challenges. Together, these experiences help middle school students make informed decisions about future coursework, career pathways, and educational opportunities as they prepare for high school and beyond. The team is very proud of the work that went into the expedition this year. It is just the first step in reimagining career-focused learning in the middle grades. Beginning in the 26-27 school year, leadership will focus on expanding opportunities for students to connect to workforce. Like the expedition, the school board can expect to see work in adding additional experiences in 6th and 8th grade. Additionally, expect more CTE electives proposed to be available for high school credit during the middle school years in the future. By grades 9 and 10, students move beyond career exploration and begin actively connecting their interests to future education and career pathways. Building on the awareness developed in elementary school and the exploration in middle school, students now have greater opportunities to personalize their learning and pursue areas of interest in more meaningful ways. Students gain access to an expanded selection of career and technical education electives and can choose academy programs aligned with their career goals. For many students, this is also their first opportunity to enroll in programs at the Advanced Technology Center, where they can begin developing specialized skills in high-demand career fields while earning industry-recognized credentials and college credit. STEM Trifecta Clubs continue to play an important role, challenging students with more advanced projects that strengthen problem-solving, teamwork, innovation, and technical skills. These experiences help students apply classroom learning to authentic real-world challenges while preparing them for future academic and career success. A key component of the high school experience is participation in career and technical student organizations or CTSOs. Every student has the opportunity to engage in leadership development, career-focused activities, and competitive events through organizations such as DECA, Educators Rising, FBLA, FCCLA, TSA, and Skills USA. Through these experiences, students develop professional skills, build confidence, and expand their networks, and demonstrate their knowledge in regional, state, and national competitions. Together, these opportunities help students transition from exploratory careers to actively preparing for them, creating a clear pathway for high school coursework to post-secondary education, military service, apprenticeships, and careers. Oh, I've gone too far, sorry. Give me 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that. By grades 11 and 12, career-focused learning reaches its pinnacle. While students continue learning, they move beyond exploration and prepare to actively demonstrate their skills, gaining real-world experience and positioning themselves for success after graduation. Beginning in 11th grade, students have access to highly specialized programs at the career and technical centers, including pathways to the skilled trades, healthcare, and others that prepare them for some of the region's most in-demand careers. Through rigorous coursework, hands-on training, and industry partnerships, students develop technical skills that translate directly to college apprenticeships, military service, and employment. Many students also participate in work-based learning experiences, internships, and other opportunities that allow them to apply their knowledge in a professional setting. These experiences help students build workplace skills, establish professional networks, and gain deeper understanding of career expectations and opportunities. At this time, students also continue to strengthen their resumes through leadership experiences with our career and technical student organizations. Through these organizations, students demonstrate their learning in those competitive events and serve in leadership roles. This progress from awareness in elementary school to exploration in middle school to preparation and specialization in high school illustrates the strength of the VBCPS workforce development pipeline. With the foundation established, we'd like to share some highlights from this year's accomplishments and preview several exciting new opportunities on the horizon. As we look at some of the great things happening in workforce, I'd like to start with our efforts in our own teacher pipeline. As part of the VBCPS commitment to building a strong local educator workforce, Virginia Beach City Public Schools was awarded the Virginia Department of Education's Grow Your Own competitive grant for teacher preparation, pre-apprenticeship, and paraprofessional development. We received $111,000. Through this initiative, these funds are being used to remove barriers and expand opportunities for aspiring educators through transportation support for internships, funding for dual enrollment, and college coursework for VTFT students, stipends for teachers supervising internships, and parapro industry credential testing. The grant has two primary goals. First, to increase the number of high school students participating in pre-apprenticeship experiences that introduce teaching as a career. And second, to increase the likelihood that these aspiring educators continue into a registered apprenticeship in teaching, or a TRAP, within their home division. It will also help the division maintain a connection with students after graduation as the division supports them through their college journey, increasing the likelihood that they return to teach in the community where they grew up and attended school. Awarded in February 2026, the impact of this investment is already visible. This summer, 9 current Virginia Teachers for Tomorrow students or future teacher contract award recipients are enrolled in education courses at Tidewater Community College beyond the dual enrollment credits that they earned during their time in high school during the school year. The grant funded 100% of this additional coursework and the required textbooks. In addition, on May 21st, the division celebrated a major milestone by extending contracts to a record 50 future teachers, and these contracts were awarded at our career signing night. One of these future educators plans to take advantage of the Teacher Registered Apprenticeship Program, or TRAP, pathway by returning to Virginia Beach City Public Schools in the fall as a paraprofessional while attending college at Old Dominion University. This student represents exactly the type of long-term educator pipeline this grant was designed to create, supporting local students and preparing them for successful careers in education and ultimately bringing them back to serve the next generation of learners in Virginia Beach. Yeah, we're super excited about that. All right. Okay. Another exciting workforce development partnership is taking shape through the collaboration between the Virginia Beach City Public Schools, the Maritime Industrial Base, and the Hampton Roads Regional Maritime Training System. Through this partnership, VBCPS is expanding career training opportunities with construction of a third welding laboratory and classroom at the Renaissance Academy and Adult Learning Center. This project represents a $2 million investment in the facility and is scheduled for completion in July of 2026. Beginning in August 2026, high school students from across the division will have access to a new one-credit Introduction to Welding course. 40 students each semester will be transported to the site to participate in hands-on instruction that introduces them to hands-on, high-demand maritime skilled trades careers. The new facility mirrors the successful welding lab model at the Technical and Career Education Center and has been designed to meet the needs of both students and workforce. The expansion includes a dedicated classroom, new locker room facilities, and a state-of-the-art welding laboratory equipped with 20 welding booths, a plasma cutter, iron workers, and other industry standard equipment. What makes this investment especially impactful is its dual-purpose design. During the school day, the facility will serve high school students exploring welding and maritime career pathways. After school and in the evenings, the space will support adult workforce training programs, providing recent graduates and community members with opportunities to gain skills and credentials needed to enter Virginia's growing maritime workforce. This partnership demonstrates the power of aligning K-12 education, workforce development, and industry needs to create meaningful opportunities for students and adults while strengthening the regional economy. All right. Spring semester of 2027 marks the launch of a pilot partnership between VBCPS and the Virginia Police Department and the Virginia Beach Sheriff's Office. To provide seniors with an immersive real-world law enforcement training experience, the pilot group of 20 students will come from the Public Safety 2 class at the Technical and Career Education Center. Future cohorts may come from a mix of settings. Selected students will spend half a day, 3 days per week at the Virginia Beach Police Academy during the spring semester, participating in hands-on instruction delivered by law enforcement professionals from both agencies. Training will mirror foundational elements of Police Academy preparation and introduce students to the expectations of public safety careers. Students will engage in experiences that include things like physical fitness for duty, CPR, cultural awareness, community engagement, police procedures and traffic stops, canine operations and demonstrations, interrogation techniques and interview strategies, rules of evidence and the laws of arrest, court procedures and the judicial process, and guided tours of key components of our local judicial system. On the remaining 2 days each week, students will complete coursework through dual enrollment in criminal justice, ensuring they earn both academic credit and college-level exposure. To further extend career readiness, students may apply to the Patrol Aid Program with the Virginia Beach Police Department, providing a paid work-based learning experience of up to 28 hours per week. Graduates who are 18 years old are eligible to apply for the Virginia Beach Sheriff's Office training program after they graduate from high school, with the potential for immediate hire upon graduation. This pathway also serves as a direct pipeline into the Virginia Beach Police Department, giving students early exposure to the expectations of the Police Academy experience, which they may formally enter at age 20 and a half. Together, this pilot program builds collaborative partnership, bridging classroom learning to career placement in public safety roles within Virginia Beach. We're excited to watch this partnership develop as we reimagine existing courses. All right. Industry credential attainment continues to be one of the strongest indicators of success within our career and technical education programs, and it remains a cornerstone of our efforts to prepare students for college, career, and life readiness. While final results for the 25-26 school year are still being compiled, The data on your screen today points to another record-setting year for our students. To date, Virginia Beach City Public Schools students have earned 16,649 industry credentials, and we anticipate that final numbers will be just a bit more. This year's efforts exceed last year's total by well over 2,000 industry credentials. This increase is largely attributed to an increase in technical skill attainment, workplace readiness skills, and ASVAB industry credentials. Equally important to the overall count of credentials earned, we are seeing improvements in participation and in student performance. Across the board, credential attainment numbers have increased and pass rates continue to trend upward. Last year, students received an overall credential testing pass rate of 83.3%, while in the 25-26 school year, that rate has risen to 85.1%, demonstrating both stronger preparation and greater student success across our programs. These results reflect the hard work of our students, the expertise of our teachers, and the commitment of our schools to ensuring students leave our programs with credentials that validate their skills and increase their opportunities after graduation. These numbers are also meaningful through the Compass to 2030 lens. Credential attainment is one of the ways we track progress on Goal 1, challenging and supporting students to excel and be future ready. As we look ahead to 26-27, the Career and Technical Education team will continue reflecting on our credentialing strategy to maximize value for our students and align with the needs of both the Commonwealth and our regional economy. VBCPS will place increased emphasis on industry credentials identified by the Virginia Board of Education as high demand and those that directly support workforce priorities within Hampton Roads. At the same time, we will remain mindful of both budget constraints and student testing fatigue. As a result, credentials that do not support both graduation requirements and school accountability measures will begin to be phased out. This strategic shift will allow VBCPS to fund credentials that provide the greatest benefit to students while ensuring that testing supports both career preparation and school accountability. As we conclude our discussion of the K-12 workforce pipeline, it's important to recognize the ultimate goal of this work is to provide students with meaningful opportunities to apply their learning in authentic settings and begin building their future careers. The 25-26 school year presented several challenges related to work-based learning implementation throughout the year. Divisions across the Commonwealth navigated significant changes in state policy, evolving accountability requirements, and delays in receiving guidance regarding program structures and documentation of expectations. Despite these challenges, our Career and Technical Education team remained focused on what matters most, creating high-quality experiences that benefit students rather than allowing uncertainty around compliance measures to slow our progress. We chose to prioritize meaningful learning opportunities and trust that quality experiences would ultimately align with state expectations. To support this effort, the division launched School Links as our new platform for documenting work-based learning experiences and provided extensive training and support to school-based staff. Our schools embraced this transition and did an outstanding job documenting student participation and outcomes. While our final numbers are still being compiled, the results to date are noteworthy. More than 700 high-quality work-based learning experiences have been documented during the 25-26 school year thus far. The experiences represent over 86,000 hours of student engagement in real-world learning environments and an estimated economic impact of $1.3 million within our community. These numbers tell an important story. They represent students exploring careers, developing professional skills, building industry connections, and contributing meaningful value to local businesses and organizations. They represent the collective efforts of our teachers, our counselors, administrators, business partners, and families who make these opportunities possible. Most importantly, they demonstrate that our workforce pipeline is not simply a vision. It is producing tangible results for students today while helping build the workforce our community will need tomorrow. As we look ahead, I want to note that everything on the next slide connects to Compass to 2030 and strategies focused on partnering with businesses for real-world experiences and leveraging community resources. This is our framework in action. The team is very proud of the work that went into adding each new workforce connection this year. Beginning in the 26-27 school year, leadership will be focusing on expanding opportunities for students to connect to workforce in meaningful new ways as well. The school board can expect to see work around expanding regional opportunities in partnership with our neighbors, new programming around fire and EMS that builds on the work currently being done with the Virginia Beach Police Department and the Virginia Beach Sheriff's Office, and additional experiences for 6th and 8th graders through a proposed experiential learning center. Thank you for your continued support of career and technical education and workforce development initiatives that prepare every student for success in college, career, and life. I'm happy to answer any questions you have at this time.
Madam Chair, I just want to let you know, we have been up and running, streaming for a few minutes, and for the public's sake, we did not begin the meeting until 4:38, so they've not missed significant amount.
Okay, and just so the public's aware, we didn't take any formal action on anything, and we've had a presentation on workforce development. Ms. Rogers.
Thank you so much. It really is commendable how much work we've done on CTE. So I appreciate all the work that you've done, and Dr. Robertson, the work that you've done. I do have a couple of questions, especially with regard to middle school. Do we have any CTE electives in middle school that is across all of our middle schools, like something that is offered at every school?
Yeah, all of our CTE electives are offered at every middle school. They're not pockets of that. So
Right.
we offer business, technology, education, family and consumer science. We don't currently offer any marketing like we do at the high school, but those
Right.
3 areas are across all schools. I think the only school that had been lacking a program, and I think it was from lacking a teacher, Virginia Beach Middle did not have a tech ed program, but that is changing in the fall. So we've got
Excellent.
two new rooms back at VB Middle, and they're reopening their program in the fall.
Excellent. That's excellent news. I really do believe, as an educator, that when you allow students to have the opportunity to explore different avenues, it really does put them on the path of this is what I like and this is where I want to go. And having all of these opportunities is so important for our students so that it gives them the idea of which path to take as they're headed towards graduation. One of the other things you talked about was partnering with our neighbors. So I'm not aware of other divisions that are, around us that offer this kind of supports in CTE. What are we looking at? Or are they looking to come to us? I'm just curious.
And I can answer that, or if you'd rather, Dr. Robertson.
Yeah, so the Virginia Beach Community Roundtable has had several meetings recently about creating a regional CTE center. We had a presentation on the 15th last Monday that was done by the 4 CTE directors in Chesapeake, Portsmouth, Virginia Beach, and Norfolk, who brought to the group ideas of Phase 1 center programming and Phase 2 center programming. In that meeting, Centera now is officially joined. We now have the automotive industry. There's a supervisor that represents the state. They want to join. So we're probably in August, we'll be able to figure out which programs we want to bring back to the board that we can offer. Phase 1 would be fall of 2027. Phase 2 would be fall of 2028. We're going to start with the programs that don't require a brick and mortar building,
Right.
because that's going to be really difficult to get, even though we have partners that are willing to donate space. But for it to work for 4 school divisions, you got to have the right location, or otherwise one school division will kind of be left out, and we don't want that to happen. And Suffolk also wants to get involved. So that's kind of what we're talking about. So more to come, probably hear about it in September.
Awesome. Thank you so much. The only other thing I guess I wanted to add is I don't have a middle schooler anymore, but I do think it would be really awesome to be able to introduce some of our middle schoolers to like our Brock program. I know that a lot of parents aren't even aware of some of the things that are happening there. And if we can introduce them to those things in the other academies. I know we do Academy Night, but that's one of the programs that I feel like that they're like, oh, what's the environmental center?
And actually, it was when we did the Expedition Port of Call, where every 7th grader comes, absolutely everybody. The academies and the Brock Center were there this year with that
Oh, good.
idea that even if the parents are unable to get them to an Academy Night, they get that that piece. And one of the reflections we got back from students was they asked about an academy because we had the academies on the map with industries that were like them, and I think we're going to put them all together so that they see them as one piece, including Brock Center for
That's
next year.
so
And that is really intentional
Yes.
to make sure that every student sees it, whether they make it to that nighttime event or not.
Right, and that's so important. Like I said, it gives students the idea of, hey, I really enjoyed this piece. I like this idea, and then a direction of where they want to go in high school. And having that set up, I cannot tell you how many parents I've spoken to who don't live in this area that this is where we shine with the academies, all of these different avenues for our students to learn, and it really is amazing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Green?
Thank you. And Dr. Lockett, I don't have a question, but more of a comment and accolades. I see Mr. Jameson is here, so I am happy to see that the partnership that Dr. Konopnicki and I started many years ago when I was an employee continues and has expanded greatly. I see our Renaissance Academy counselor, Ms. Beard, so I am very happy about the upcoming welding program at Renaissance and the alignment and taking advantage of our adult learners that could go at night. And one thing I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge, even though that wasn't a part of your presentation, is thanking you for the programming with the aerospace and the medical program that is in place at Bayside High, because a lot of times that's a long day if those students did not have that opportunity at those two remote sites, trying to get career and technical ed courses in if they had to travel to North Landing or to ATC. So thank you, and thank you for the continuing partnership to ensure our students know about the opportunities and working with our school counselors.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Great. Ms. Dwyer?
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you for the expansion of the fire and the EMS programming. And I was thinking about it, maybe a nice added category would be dispatching.
So the currently our public safety students do dispatching. It's part of their
okay.
year one program, and they do their industry credential for dispatching because it's one of those careers that bridges the time they can be a dispatcher at 18 while they're waiting for the police academy. So I think you'll see that expand as we split those programs out.
Yeah, with EMS and fire.
Yeah, it's been a great partnership, and I really thank Dr. Robertson for helping push that along for us because
Great.
it came from him.
Thank you. Ms. Melnick?
I really want to just take a moment to really thank you for the opportunities now that exist at the Renaissance Academy, because that just cannot serve as the end of the road or the feeling of the end of the road for some of our kids. They need to know the opportunities that exist there. That, although I know it's not CTE, but that coupled with Dr. Robertson's sports opportunities, that, as I've always called it, a blip on the radar, right? But more than, and the fact that students choose to stay there and these opportunities that are growing there, that and our future teachers for tomorrow, that's such an important program. There was a time, I've talked about this frequently, where upstairs on the third floor, I think there were rows of file cabinets with applications in them, and we had not enough jobs for all the people who wanted to be teachers, and now that doesn't exist. So the fact that we are fostering our own opportunity for our kids is just so very, very important. So thank you for everything.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Vice Chair Williams?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Lockett, and we've worked together for many years, and just kudos. This is just wonderful, and I know in the Workforce Development Committee, we talked about starting at a younger age, and I really like that you do the touch points in 5th grade, and then you're expanding it a lot through middle school. I really appreciate that. This is awesome stuff, as many options as we can give our students. So when they graduate, they get to pick what they want to do. And I know that I learned that it's not either or. In a lot of these cases, you can get certified, some places will help pay for your college. It's not just either one or the other, but actually you can do CTE and workforce development and go to college, but again, a lot of choices. Just out of curiosity, can you refresh, I know and I'm so excited about the welding. How many students did we usually turn down a year that couldn't get into
Sure.
welding?
So when we started looking, when we had one lab, we could take 20 students a year. That's an OSHA standard of 20 kids. And we were getting about 150 applications for those 20 spots.
Wow.
And that's where we got the first round of Navy funding, which took us from taking 20 kids to taking 40 kids. But then that left us still with over 100 kids that were not being served. And that's
Right.
where the brainchild came up to do an intro to welding class, because our maritime partner said, hey, we'll hire the kids and retrain them, but we want to know that they enjoy it. They have some aptitude, they have, some knowledge. So that's where we started with the 1 credit course. It takes 2 blocks because they're going to travel. You all approved that over a year ago. We've just been putting the infrastructure in place to make it a reality. So those kids will be bussed over at the start of first block, come in halfway through first block. So their 1 credit class kind of straddles first and second block, and then they'll go back to their home school. So they'll come in while Renaissance Academy is already in class. And then the students from Renaissance who are in the class will get a little bit of extra time one-on-one with their teachers while everybody else is doing their transportation. So we're excited about that. But it allows us to bring in another 80 students a year, which gets us really close to serving that 100, 110 students that were left out after the tech center application. So super excited about that. And we may have some students that want a 1 credit class that didn't want to commit, so we may see those numbers go up as
Yeah,
things
I think
move
they will
along.
go up. I really do, but great job. Continue. Thank you.
I briefly want to echo many thanks. We have come a long way, and this board has continued to support increasing workforce development and CTE. And this doesn't necessarily mean that somebody has to, do this career, but at least kind of feeling out what's a good fit and making it so that students have that opportunity to feel that out is a great thing. I am really excited about this program here for the police. Let's see what we actually are calling it. The partnership with the Virginia Beach Police Department and Virginia Beach Sheriff's Office. Many people may know this or not, but the police department is over 80 police shy of their needed police officers, and that affects us too. When we have SROs in our schools, those are from the police department, and this is an honorable career, and so I'm glad that we're offering our students the opportunity to explore if that's a good fit for them, and that we're having that partnership. I know that City Council is also probably happy about that as well. So thank you.
Okay,
Thank you for everything you do.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we are going to try to get through here the facilities summer projects, and welcome Ms. Melissa Ingram, Executive Director, Office of Facility Services.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Brown, Vice Chair Weems, members of the board, and Dr. Robertson. As Executive Director of Facility Services, I appreciate the opportunity today to provide you an overview of our facility services summer projects and our operational activities planned for this summer. Today, I'll highlight the major capital improvements, maintenance initiatives, and school readiness efforts that will take place across the division over the next summer months. And so starting, this summer, you're again, often summertime is associated with construction projects. However, it's not just construction projects, it's also summer learning operation supports. And those extend far beyond the capital improvements that you often hear me talk about. Our work in facilities include both improvements and maintenance, preventative maintenance, technology upgrades, security assessments, custodial preparation, and operational support activities designed to ensure our schools remain safe, reliable, and ready for students and staff on the first day of school. Offices within VBCPS support a wide range of division activities, including summer learning programs, parks and recreation programs, leadership training, transportation operations, and meal services throughout our schools. This summer, we are managing maintenance projects at almost all sites, and at more than 30 of them are large capital improvement projects, while simultaneously supporting these educational and community programs at over 50 locations throughout the division. A significant portion of our summer work focuses on maintaining and improving critical building systems. HVAC capital improvement projects are underway at approximately 10 schools and administrative facilities. These projects range from rooftop unit replacements in schools such as Allenton and Pembroke Elementary Schools, and system replacements such as at College Park, Cook, and Lynn Haven Elementary Schools, to targeted improvements serving auditoriums and gymnasiums at Salem High School, data centers such as here at the school administration building, indoor air quality or makeup air unit improvements such as at Point of View Elementary School, and kitchens such as at Green Run Elementary School and Independence Middle School, where HVAC will be added in the kitchens where there currently were none, along with scratch cooking upgrades. These HVAC projects will improve temperature control, humidity management, energy efficiency, and overall system reliability, helping to create conducive learning environments that support student success. Turning to another critical building system, roofing. We have roofing projects underway at 6 sites across the division this summer. The second phase of roofing replacement projects will be completed this summer at First Colonial High School and Linkhorn Park Elementary Schools, while new multi-phase roof replacement projects begin at Independence Middle School and Thalia Elementary School. Additional work includes structural preparation improvements at Luxford Elementary School for next year's planned roof project and roof gutter system upgrades at Larkspur Middle School. These roofing projects protect our facilities' building envelopes, extend building life, and help prevent future maintenance issues. Additional critical systems with capital improvements this summer focus on structural integrity and life safety systems. Turning to foundation improvements, Bayside Middle School will complete the final phase of its foundation repair project, while Kempsville Middle School continues year 2 of a planned 3-year phase foundation project. Other major projects include window and door replacements at White Oaks Elementary School to support the building envelope, and a fire alarm system replacement at Bayside High School. These improvements will enhance safety, reliability, and long-term building performance. Now looking at some energy improvement projects we are undergoing this summer, we will complete 2 LED lighting conversion projects throughout the school buildings, one at White Oaks Elementary School and the second at Ocean Lakes High School, which will both provide lighting quality improvements at these schools while reducing energy consumption. You can see an example of the lighting quality difference on the first picture on this slide. This is a side-by-side comparison at Green Run High School taken several years ago. Fluorescent lighting in the classroom on the left and LED lighting in the classroom on the right. Both lighting replacement projects for this summer began during spring break. Additionally, we'll continue our PPA, or Power Purchase Agreement, to install solar panels to an additional school in our division, Newcastle Elementary School. Similar to the configuration at the second picture on the slide at Ocean Lakes Elementary School, this project will result in a lower rate of electricity at this site while being able to utilize energy produced off the grid through the use of the solar panels being installed. Several projects this summer focus on improving our open spaces through improved accessibility walkways and playgrounds and joint city venture of flooding prevention. ADA sidewalk improvements will continue at our middle school sites this summer, including completion of work at Plaza Middle School and new improvements at Kempsville and Independence Middle Schools. The accessible playground courtyard will be improved that serves our division-wide special education population at Pembroke Elementary School, including CSEP student populations. Playground improvements will also be made at Corporate Landing Elementary School. Site improvements associated with the city's flood protection project along the Elizabeth River will be conducted by our city partners at Arrowhead Elementary School Shorelines and Trail System. Turning to some athletic improvements at Lansdowne High School, installation of a new synthetic turf field is underway, providing a durable playing surface that will support year-round use. This project is similar in scope to the Tallwood High School turf project, which is pictured here, that occurred last year. However, the rubber track at Lansdowne High School will not be replaced with this project due to the rubber track being located in a separate area on site and having been replaced less than 10 years ago. If you visit Lansdowne, you'll see quite a bit of work going on as we started this project as well prior to spring break. Salem High School will receive a new gym bleachers that improve accessibility and spectator experience, while several elementary schools will receive resilient gym flooring replacements. You can see an example of the transition from wood flooring to the new resilient flooring being installed at our elementary schools on the slide in front of you at the bottom. Again, the resilient flooring is more supportive and easier to maintain. And these pictures show the difference from last year's replacement at Newtown Elementary School. And so we are proud to continue partnering with Teaching and Learning and Federal Blue Forge grant process to expand career and technical education opportunities. With this summer work being completed on a new welding laboratory at Renaissance Academy through a grant-funded project, which we just spoke about with Dr. Lockett. And again, as was done at the Tech Ed Center, pictured on the slide to the left, facility upgrades include ventilation, electrical, infrastructure, and specialized equipment support systems that will allow the program to open for students at the start of this fall's 26-27 school year. This project helps prepare students for high-demand careers and strengthens workforce development opportunities within our division, particularly as we just discussed at this location at Renaissance Academy, with the goal of leveraging this space for daytime high school students across the division and for nighttime students of the Adult Learning Center. And as you've been briefed earlier this month, construction activities will also begin this summer for the tri-campus additions. This slide illustrates the planned locations of these additions, as well as general plan information that has been presented previously this month. This project is intended to get all students within the tri-campus attendance zone into newer, updated learning environments with fewer transitions during their elementary school career. And again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the slide, in addition to our capital projects, extensive maintenance and school readiness work occurs throughout the summer. Projects include classroom conversions, instructional space modifications, career and technical education support improvements, and a wide range of maintenance projects and preventative maintenance activities undergone by the Offices of Maintenance Services, Custodial and Distribution Services, Department of Technology, and the Office of Security and Emergency Management. Our maintenance teams will perform work involving electrical systems, plumbing infrastructure, and underground storage tanks, flooring, doors, windows, casework, HVAC, intercom systems, elevators, and painting. Our custodial staff will also complete deep cleaning, floor stripping and waxing, and building preparation activities across the division. And as mentioned earlier, assessments and projects related to technology and security that are needed are also planned. While many of these projects are not highly visible, they are essential to ensuring schools are safe, clean, comfortable, and fully operational when students and staff return for the next school year. So in closing, I'd like to reflect on the extensive work that occurs each summer to maintain our facilities, support educational programs, and prepare our schools for students and staff, and take this opportunity to recognize and thank the supporting staff and departments for their dedication and hard work in planning over the last school year while maintaining our buildings throughout the year. Also, there are project implementation throughout the next several weeks as the summer work progress continues to completion. So this concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Ms. Melnick.
On slide 3, you had a list of critical building systems, and when you got to school administration, you said data center. Would you mind?
Absolutely. So every school has at least a data closet, sometimes referred to as an IDF.
Okay.
And so as we need our data and our internet capabilities, our broadcasting capabilities, there is also need for cooling of those spaces.
Okay.
So the HVAC at that space in the school administration building here, right behind the Einstein Lab,
Right.
was getting outdated, and so that's one of the projects that we had placed. We started it this winter, as it's not a school, so we started this winter, and we'll continue it through the summer and then next winter to upgrade the HVAC system so that it supports our data needs throughout not only this building but even across the division.
Okay. Which is separate than the HVAC that this building went through when we were in Kellum for the old Kellum for a while.
Correct.
Okay.
That HVAC was getting us off of the loop system that the
Okay.
city, and you might have seen as you drove through the municipal center, they were doing extensive work. The city was doing extensive work on that system
Okay.
in the last several months. So we are independent of the city system, both in terms of our heating and cooling now, and then the data center was something
Okay.
that we saved for a later date as we had to look for funding for
Okay.
it.
Thank you for that clarification. Thanks.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that clarification too, because, when you say data centers, it kind of can be controversial, and so I appreciate that you're clarifying that it's not a typical data center, and I won't belabor this because of time, but thank you for everything that you all do.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So, Dr. Robertson, do you think we have time to go over the quarterly forecast before we go to recess?
I do.
Okay. So we have the quarterly forecast here in front of you. Of course, there's a lot of it there for the retreat, but I'll turn it over to Dr. Robertson to see if he has anything to add.
Yeah, so I don't think that I need to go through with a meeting by meeting with you. I'll just tell you again, this is a planning document for us that we used to ensure that we're ahead of the game in terms of those workshops and information items are going to be of interest to you or the public. This is not the end all to be all. So this is where we start with agenda planning. And as things come up, and I talked to the chair today, there was something that came up in senior staff yesterday that we feel like we need to get in front of the school board with. So that item is not even on this quarterly forecast. So this is a planning document that you can refer to. But it is not the end. It's not the final draft. It's a planning document we begin our work from.
Thank you. And I just want to note for the school board, the September 8th vaping update. That was a conversation that we all had. And so I just want to make sure that I highlight that. And then I think that's it. But there may be a couple of meetings in here based on how heavy it is that we have to come in around 3:30. So, especially as we kind of come into the end of summertime based on what's on here. So. All right, well, with that, we are going to recess, and we will reconvene at 6 p.m. for our formal meeting.